Alright, here we go. This is a battle of two semi-legit teams, at least. We have, of course, the possibility of... Well, I guess Galio is a little bit oddly of a jungle, and you normally won't see Draven top. For some reason I was thinking that Galio was Volibear as well, instead. But you would normally see, in this case, for fives, you'd see obviously Ashdillion versus maybe Tristana Soraka bottom. And in our case, it would be obviously like Annie, Syndra mid. The only thing that becomes odd is maybe like a Syndra Draven, which is not necessarily bad in a certain case because Draven does have some kind of some abilities to counter Syndra, similar to a Teemo, where you can just speed buff to go away or use his slight knockback to push Syndra out of the way. So really the oddball would be a little bit more the Galio jungle, which is possible because of his shield does heal himself. So you might see it. So if you're seeing a Galio jungle, you might see him max that first instead. Yeah, that's not something you typically see, but I have seen it before. Not overly successful, but possible in a very, very niche way. The big key in this matchup is really going to be the difference between frontline CC and AD carry. So we have more tankiness in CC in terms of the Galio and Singed. They can keep people off the Ashe, usually, versus a Volibear and an Annie stun. So it's going to be interesting in that regard. Seeing who does what. They have more sustain. I'm gonna say we have more poke. Because Annie's not really a poker. Neither Tristan or Draven are huge on the poke for AD carry. Oh, and what you see here is this is actually one of my custom item builds that I have set up. Here, magic penetration. I'm going to go slightly off that this time. I'm going to build slightly off that since I'm playing Syndra, and I just fucked up.
More. I can be so much more. For freedom!
I hate the double clicking like that.
Howling abyss.
Rocket in your pocket? Did you fall down and go boom?
Minions have spawned. By force of will.
I just have to see you shoot me. Oh! Really?
Jealous fools. Let them try to stop me.
I did stay around just long enough for the aggro to take it.
This power is mine to command. My potential is limitless.
Let's see. I already have 104 on the Tier Goddess. I want to get a moment. Let's check the build and see what we're looking at from the very start. But that's over there. And here's the first fight. That you usually see in ARAM. And back off. Alright. So what are we looking at? Since also has the Tier of the Goddess, which is not necessarily a good build, you only see it. You're only seeing it in ARAM for some reason because they think they can get the mass stack up. But the problem with that is Singe doesn't really have the abilities to warrant that kind of build. Because you're not going to stack up your Tear of the Goddess all that fast. And you're only doing it for really the extra HP on the passive, which isn't all that great. So it's not a great starting first item on Singe. I would rather see just like a freaking Catalyst, no boots, which is fine to start with. Both Zillion and Galio running the Chalice of Harmony, which is okay. As well, when Galio also gets the benefit from the magic resist for extra AP due to his passive. But also with Galio, once he has Chalice, he should never ever really run out of mana. Even if he goes spam happy, he should. Even if he's like spam happy and low on mana, he'll get enough mana back by the time he's ready to use his next spell. So that's a good start. Kind of the same with the Chalice of Harmony on Zillion. You can keep those bombs turning. So those are good starts. The biggest question really is the Singe with the Tear of the Goddess, and then the Ash with the standard double Doran's Blade. So a lot of standard starts, got a lot of good standard stuff. And 2 kills already. Give me a chance, I'll go over there, I'll go over the opponent build. And there's his 3rd kill. Alright, so we have Tristana going what looks to be AP with the Doran's Ring and the Chalice of Harmony. Which is interesting because Volibear is mostly magic damage as well, so they're going to be running heavy on the AP. Make them a little bit more sensitive if they were running double 80 carry. Which also, the thing about AP Tristana in this kind of situation also is it kind of makes her feel like she can run in and do something she necessarily can't. Jumping in and playing AP Tristana against this team, especially with the Galio and Singe, is not necessarily the greatest idea. Draven appears to be rushing Static Shiv. Volibear going for the Bulwark. And the Massive Stun. It was a good try on the ult by Sicilian, but just barely did not die there. He ulted after I flashed, so not the greatest. But good idea. Just poor execution. And that was the Draven axes. Push me aside, giving Volibear just enough time to get me before I can knock him backwards. I'm going to go ahead and grab that. And I'm going to also go spot the difference and grab some good items.
I can be so much more.
And there's the beautiful, beautiful annual build. Perfect.
My force of will.
As much as the don't chase Singe is a thing, very often if we Singe don't chase. And I missed all those. Alright, so let's look back at the builds here and see what people grabbed. Ash going for what looks like the Sanguine Blade. That's okay, although I'd rather see necessarily the Infinity Edge first. But it could be she will be building that BF sword into the Infinity Edge first and save on that. I'm getting caught by that boulder, I guess. I feel like we have a front line that isn't quite front line, but that's okay. See Galio already with the anti-unholy veil. Speed. Zillion already with both the anti-unholy veil and the Chalice of Harm. Anti-unholy veil and the Boots of Lucidity, so that's basically 45% cooldown reduction as long as he has something in the masteries. You see Draven already having the Static Shiv and getting the Vamp Scepter, and he has yet to die, so she's still stuck with just the Chalice of Harmony. So Rockhead appears is going for the Quick Will of the Ancients because they have nasty magic damage it appears.
Has destroyed.
And there's that. Almost got caught by that ball bear again. Trying to go forward, but that's okay. Alright, let's see here. Yeah, well, it feels like Soraka's going to be rushing the Rhoda and grab more water for their team. Tristana appears to be wanting to grab the Water Aegis. And Wolverine makes the mistake of making sure he just goes in ball through whenever he can. Oh, and apparently Singe throws him out of the ult. That's a mistake.
My potential is limitless.
But he dies anyway, so that's not too bad. Although Ash almost died because of it. Because that was thrown right onto the Ash. Oh, and there's the Ash dead to that.
Shut down.
And Singe is going to die here soon, so we gotta get him the fuck out.
Power without limit. Let them try to stop me. Force of will.
Oh, holy shit!
Has been slain.
Where was I almost wish I had died just to see where all the damage came from. Both Annie and Tristana have the Rod of Ages. I'm thinking that was Volibear's comp, but I don't know how it would be that much damage already with only the Runic Bulwark.
This power is mine to command.
As Gallios looks like he's going to be grabbing the Runic Bulwark. Singed already has a Rod of Ages. He is not doing anything with the tier, which is perfectly fine. I wish I should have stayed in turret range there because I pulled turret out.
World to toy with.
Has destroyed a turret.
My potential is limitless. People fear what they cannot understand. More. I can be so much more.
I'll be careful with Annie because she does have her stun. I'm guessing that's going to be an ult stun incoming whenever she can get it all. I'll go back here and grab this real quick. Interestingly enough, Volibear does not have that much HP yet. Especially when you compare it to Singed.
People fear what they cannot understand.
Also interesting is the Draven rushed the static shifts, so he's playing a little bit more of our endgame, which might not end up happening at all.
World to toy with.
Cool, there's more stack shit. And the Tibbers,
Shut down.
and I have no mana. Throw my own stun in there.
Enemy rampage.
I'm not going to be able to do anything about that.
More. I can be so much more.
I'm going to grab this one just for the mana, so I can pull a stun if I need to. Let's review the builds again. Singed is going for the Ninja W, which is interesting because they only do have the 1/8 carry. So that is slightly interesting. why Syndra would go on out of Ninja Tabi. I'm guessing he thought that Tristana was going to play AD and then also use that Ninja Tabi against the Volibear, but although Volibear doesn't deal that much damage on auto attack. So a little bit interesting this year.
This power is mine to command.
Oh, I got that with an auto attack. Right. There's Zillion ult. You know, it's interesting. Zillion is ulted, but he doesn't seem to be getting any, Oh, delay. Okay. I was about to say. He doesn't seem to be getting any, whenever he ults, it seems somebody else dies. Even though the ult's not necessarily bad, just the person who ults never ends up dying. So that's unfortunate. Let's see here.
Has been slain.
I'm gonna go ahead and grab the Entry's Torment and go for additional boots. I don't need this anymore.
An ally
Check Brian on that.
This power is mine to
Oh, I never grabbed the Kaga's Lucky Pick. I just realized that. Interesting. Alright, so Ash grabs the Phantom Dancer, has Phantom Dancer and Singular Blade. So that's
My potential is
a start, but really missing the Infinity Edge there.
I can be so much more.
Just really going to put the damage off of that. Not really going to put it into the first. You can only see. Bit of a case for backline, not quite the backline. And there it is. So yeah, backline got a little bit forward. Got a little bit of isolation in there, so not quite perfect. I'll go ahead and grab that, I guess. And go with one of those. Galia does have his ult. Oh, and that was a complete control from this guy out. I'm not sure what happened there. The ult, and somehow, somewhat. Alright, so Galia with the Runic Bulwark. Both teams have the Runic Bulwark. Lillian going for a little bit more AP here. Not quite sure what that Sapphire Crystal is going to end up going into. She's going with Painless, but for some reason going no magic resist at all against almost a full full AP team, so that's interesting. Soraka grabbed this Breath-type Revolver very early, but did not go for the Will of the Ancients. Draven has the Samurai Blade and a little bit more damage finally. Going for a little bit more sustain on that. Yeah, the Soraka is looking a little bit interesting, a little bit suspect.
Let them try to stop me.
So we'll see how this ends up.
Easily. This power is mine to command.
Nope. It has not damaged yet.
A whole world to toy with. More.
Oh, that would have been bad if he had actually had his ult right there. Alright, so both front lines died. Now we're sitting here to fight carries versus carries. Ah! Just barely died there. So grabbing the Alcon and let's review the builds one more time. Tristana running the Lich Bane. Good idea with the AP Tristana, obviously. But again, not very many people running heavy penetration against Singe for some reason is trying to stack trying to stack armor versus a full AP team, which makes no sense whatsoever. This Volibear has kind of the right idea with the Negatron. Well, the Negatron cloak is going to build into obviously its Spirit Visage, which makes perfect sense on the Volibear. Graven going for where they Blade the Ruin King, hopefully trying to get that soon. On his part, Annie trying to get that Rabadon's Death Cap. Soraka going for the Rylai's Crystal Scepter, still not grabbing that water, even though that would be a huge power spike for their team. So that's interesting, why that's not going down. Nope, and I comboed that wrong. They got a perfect gauge up there. Oh fuck. And so it's dead. So it's just
I can be so much more. My potential is limitless.
That's a Tristana. Oh, the turret there. Probably gonna lose the second turret as well. Hopefully we can counter off of this. No, actually they're probably not gonna lose the second turret. Oh, and the Ash goes up. Blown by herself before the front line is ready. That's not good. Oh, and the successful Zillion ult finally. And there's this Rocket Bed, and the only one left is the Annie. See here? Okay, good, very good. Ash getting the last weapon that allow her to beat up on the Volibear. Volibear's gonna try and go in afterwards. Bypass everybody. Again, Singe building a for some reason building a Thornmail, which will only counter the Draven. Soraka's still not getting the Will of the Angels.
Let them try to stop me.
Still not getting that water, which would be so huge. Just thank you. Melonomicon, very, very useful for the to counter the Volibear here. And okay. kind of interesting also why Soraka's not going for any additional cooldown rush afterwards that. And there it is. There it is. So a couple things out of that game. Soraka not building well the Ancients, even though rushing the Hextech Revolver, and also Singe starting the Tear of the Goddess, which is not that great, and then rushing nothing but armor against a full AP team. So watch out for those things when you're playing ARAM, because they might make a hell lot of difference. Signing off.